Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kane Hart, and I'm here to talk about Terraria Online. I unfortunately don't have alpha or beta or not invited, which is fine. But I'm gonna use Minecraft as a platform. It was that or stare at blank screen or a black screen. I'm sure this is not a bad way. I can show some examples through this. So today I'm going to talk about some of the polls that have happened on the forums and some of the biggest user opinions and concerns and etc. etc. Um, I explain things better vocally than I do, you know, well, I have bad grammar. Let's just say that. So let's start with one of the bigger polls that just recently was created. Would you like to have an option to enable a portal slash instance for large servers? Uh, so we want to. What I was thinking is an instance system is most key to a game like this. I'm going to show you something we have here on Godcraft, which is basically an instance system. Well, this is a little better than what we want for Minecraft. I'm sure most people know of multi-worlds. We do not use multi-worlds. I mean, if the one jar crashes, everything goes to hell. It's a little different with, I'm lost, sorry guys. It's a little different with Minecraft though, because Minecraft is extremely unstable. There's a lot of flaws and bugs and problems, and once you add a couple more plugins into that mix, it could get some bad results. So here we are on Godcraft. Godcraft has been online for something like almost 200 days now, or at least this one world has. It's a 16,000 by 16,000 world. So we recently introduced the PvP world with AI and stuff, but we don't have any AI in the main world. We just keep it as a nice, clean build server, and people have done a wonderful, fabulous job. Some crazy creations. You can go ahead and YouTube it. Clearly somebody's going to get banned for that. But anyways, here we go. We are now... Whoa, the PvP server's raining and it's nighttime. Kind of cool, huh? So we're right now on the PvP server. Forgive me, 1.5 seems to have introduced a lot of... There we go. Oh, screw you. Right when I turned down the sound. 1.5 seems to introduce some block lag. Not block lag, but chunk loading properly. So here we are on the PvP world. Now this is actually a totally separate server. This is not running the same Minecraft jar. It can have its own set of plugins. You don't have to worry about server capabilities, nothing like that. It's pretty awesome. This world's pretty small. It's only, I think, 2,000 by 2,000. But it's a PvP world, mob spawn, people have fun. It's a great little addition to Godcraft. Now this is sort of what I would like to see Terraria have itself. I would really like it to have an instancing system. Something like a portal or whatever we decide to add. I would prefer more of an instancing than a manually set system. Like, I mean, I could see the admin setting a portal, so like, let's say 90% of people don't have this system, period, right? You play on the main one world and that's it. What I like to see is a lobby world that we create as the admin, where you can have build permissions, only admin, and maybe some mods or whatever can build and create a really cool, unique city or village or whatever, and then from there the admin can spawn, like, say, a portal type function. And then what happens is this portal, for example, like the portal on this boat, you can go through, and through this portal, as a normal player, an option would come up as, would you like to create a town, or like create a world or whatever. The admin can set up the settings or whatever. The player can set up a name, say, call it, Bobsville or whatever. I would say start with small, but of course the admin will have choices what maps can be, whatever. So that way, if you have 50 small worlds online at that time and have 16 gigs of RAM, you probably could run them all at once. And then the neat feature about it is if you team up with a friend, you're going to have to redo the teaming system, unfortunately, but if you team up with a friend, when you go through it, your friend also can go to your world, and maybe there's even a whitelist on that world where your friend can just add people to that list, and then they can go up to it, and instead of just, Abdallah comes up, and instead of going to their world, it'll pop up and let you enter a friend's world, or maybe there's even a little small directory. I think that would be a wonderful idea. That way people who want like 2,000 player servers, not that it's going to be 2,000 player, but let's just say, 200 people online at once, it's possible. I mean, that's extremely possible if, there we go, if we had a system like that. The other one I would like to see is a static portal system with build permissions and whatnot. And what we can do is add, say, a PvP destroy world where you go there and everyone can join, and it's like, you have 30 people and they're just non-chaos killing each other. It's just blown to hell. Maybe it resets every, day or something, whatever the admin puts on there. Then I would like to see some other things like, what would I like to see? I would like to see, like cities and villages being built where it's just only read-only kind of thing, where maybe, you can have AI turned on where you can go and fight monsters and stuff like that, but you still are, you can't destroy, the terrain, but it's made in a more like Super Mario style. I'm sure the creator of this game would reflect really well on that one. And yeah, things like that. Like, I mean, I think there could be so much potential in an instancing system. Anyways, let me talk about the poll. Right now we have 82.7% of people who would like an instancing slash portal system added as an option. So we don't force people to have to use this. It would just be a separate option. It would probably be mainly used for server admins. Small servers would even benefit from this. Large servers will definitely benefit for this. One of the key things that keep Minecraft going is SMP. Single player is awesome, but it gets boring and it gets lonely. What kept Minecraft going is multiplayer, period. You allow more than 4 people to play, it gets better. But you have a game that's very 2D, which is awesome. I like it that way. Where you have 20 people running around that one single world, it becomes havoc. It becomes crazy. It's just not fun anymore. So if you create a system like this where, admins can create their own, like, mini lobby world or whatever, and then they can put read-only permission on it kind of thing, and then people can go through a portal and they create their own world and they can bring their friends through there, and everyone can run it on their own game site. So none of this like those games where you go to it and you go through a lobby like Battlefield and you pick a server you want. I mean, people hate that. People want their own private communities, big communities, stuff like that. I can guarantee you that would help your game so much. Unfortunately, I am a slight expert, and I'm not going to say I am the expert, but I'm quite expert on, you know, attracting people to communities. I'm a jerk of an admin. People know that. Like, for example, you saw that sign gay. That guy who's probably going to earn himself a good ban. Most admins would ignore it, delete it, whatever. I am an admin. But you know what? I have one of the biggest player bases and really good players on Godcraft. Mainly because what I do is run a really good server. As much as I can be a jerk and whatnot, what I do is run really, really, really good servers, and that's what I'm good at. So I'm really good at, finding new ways to attract players. The instancing portal system is a lot better than, say, a multi-world system for Godcraft and Minecraft. But Terraria can use the same EXE if it's, a stable game, which I'm sure it will be. There's a lot of difference when Minecraft is, loading and generating chunks non-stop, and then a mob falls through the world and, throws out a negative value, and boom, the server goes down. I mean, it's a lot big difference when it comes to, a 3D to a 2D, especially when it comes to Java. Yeah, I'm not going to get there. So yeah, I think the biggest key would be, plain and simple, we would really love an instancing system, and I think it's a major, crucial part of making Terraria extremely successful. Now, I'm going to talk to the most talked and discussed about poll of all time, and it's the death system. And I'm going to say right off the bat, I made the poll really, really, really lousy. I just made it simple. The options were money loss, items dropped on the ground where you died, nothing at all. So unfortunately, 17.6% people did nothing at all. So there's a possibility that 15 to 20% of people would really just prefer no death penalty. Items dropped on the ground was a little higher, at 20% even. That's 123 votes. I want to let you guys know these votes aren't like votes of 30 people. These options have up to one option here is money loss is 355. So money loss is 57.8% and item loss is 4.6. So if you put items dropped on ground is 20.0%. Now most people said no to item loss or items dropped on the ground. Why? Because the poll, you can't make a very detailed poll. It's really hard to do that. But if you read the comments, and I took a liberty of reading them, a lot of people like item loss, but they would like something where maybe your hotbar, you can't lose items, but maybe in your actual inventory where you have your bars of whatever and things like that. Oh, here's that terrain bug again. You have it like a random chance, say, a 10% chance to drop or even lower than that, say like a 1% chance or a 5% chance when you die to drop from each slot you have in your bag or inventory rather than on your hotbar or your armor. This way, when you die, you could lose something important like a stack of bars or something that you really worked on hard for. So now you're going to probably want to go all the way back and get those, or you may lose out, especially if you fell into lava or something like that. So I think when it came to the game punishing and what could happen and the losing of items and stuff, the biggest thing I think people wanted was money loss. The second would be item loss. But people want options. Not every server wants to run a hardcore mode. I mean, it's not hard to code in 3 options: no loss, money loss, and item loss. It'd take probably what? I'm not a programmer, but it'd probably take half a day. I think a lot of people want options. I think creating a wonderful game, you need options. You need allow options, and just do it in a config file at first. Maybe eventually make an editor in game where you can go through all the options to make it easier for people who are newer to running servers and games and stuff to make it simple. But just do a simple config with 1,000 options. People will love that. I think that really covers it. People had a lot of opinions on that. I think if you want to put it right down to the core, people just want options. They want the ability to choose what happens, not one option for what happens. Terraria is not a game that's going to end up being a set of rules and it's a linear path and this is what it is. You've created and pretty much stated a sandbox game. You need to create a sandbox game, and by doing that you have to add options. You need to be very flexible, and that's what it has to be, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'll move on now. So we're going to talk about, would you prefer to buy Terraria? This is I'm going to make this simple. I mean, I'm sure you don't even care about this poll, but how would you prefer to buy Terraria? So people, this poll is basically ask people, would you prepay or would you buy when alpha/beta releases? So would these people pay right there and then? Or would you rather wait to release? Let me give you the pretty happy part of the poll. Only 11.1% says wait until the official release. So you have people who are willing to prepay the game right now is 32.4% of the population, which is at 189 votes. Paid open alpha and beta was 330 votes. That was 56.5% of the population says pretty much if you release the game in the next couple of weeks or months or whatever for alpha or beta, people are willing to pay over 50% right there and then. I mean, that is pretty damn awesome. So that just shows, people love your game, and you already know that. So, yeah, we'll just move on. So let's talk about modding support. Another big talk was modding support. Now, I think you'll find modding support has a lot of no's in it, and there's only one reason for that. Most of the people who stated, and if you check out the thread, no to modding, simply said, I don't want people cheating and ruining the game for me. You know what they're talking about? They're talking about Minecraft, who has ruined the vision of modding support, because what people do is they build these X-ray clients where you can go through the ground and you can see dungeons. There's fly hacks, speed hacks. There's tons of stuff. Now, thankfully, there's mods now to counteract some of those, not all of them. for speed hacking and clipping hacking and stuff. We have one on Godcraft here, which prevents that, which is great. It's awesome. But when it comes to X-ray, most of them you can't prevent. There is a mod that you can do it, but it's I'm not going to even go into that. It's not at a point where it's really usable on a large scale. But let's just put it at this point right now. It's not the best, not the best time for something like that on Minecraft when it comes to modding. But modding is probably one of the keys why Minecraft is still here. If Minecraft couldn't be modded, people would hate it. I mean, everyone these days uses a different texture pack. If they don't use a different texture pack, they're using a chat mod, or they're using mini maps. Where it can go full screen. And guess what? People use mini-maps. People created mini-maps. Now Notch is making a map program for his game. So I'm going to keep it day because it wouldn't be fun for you guys seeing that. I'm just walking around. I'm not even doing anything. Godcraft's too busy. I could go to special points, but I'm not. But anyways, so modding support is one of the most wanted things. At 295 votes, 67.2% of the population said they wanted it. At 96 votes, 21.9% of the population said they didn't. And at 10.9%, they said not sure. Not sure are people who probably have a bit more, the brain going around that are saying, we want it, but we're a little worried. The no's, I can guarantee you, about 80% of the people who said no aren't saying, I don't want, modding support. I just like it vanilla and I just want to keep it pure. That's probably not the case. Most of them are literally worried about it would ruin the game because people think people are going to ruin the game, period. I don't know if you're going to add modding support, but I do suggest some kind of slight modding support. Do it small. Start small. Maybe even a little scripting or something, if that's something you're capable. I mean, I know Red is pretty, I'm not saying new, but he's newer to the whole thing. Like, I mean, he's like, not the whole thing. I'm an idiot. See, that's when I'm blabbing. I'm not even thinking. I'm just like trying to pay attention. He's, I think, not an expert in XNA and C#. I believe he's still learning the ropes. And I just like Notch with Java, he's learning a lot every day, and a lot of people who make these indie games are learning. He probably started with, I know he did the Super Mario X or something like that. I'm sure he started that out never, touching a thing, or maybe it was before that, but a lot of people start out and then they learn from that. And they become experts. They're good at what they do. Some people have a natural feel, and clearly Notch had a pretty good feel. I'm not saying he's the best programmer, though. And Red clearly is doing a great job as well. So, yeah. So anyways, I'm going to shut up for modding support. But I think modding should be added, but do it slow and do it small and just allow some support. And please remember, when you do add modding support, do client/server and make some kind of balance there, so you don't have all these client mods that let people do stupid things, but the server can't say no to them type thing, and you know what I'm going on there. So let's go to global login system. I think this is no-brainer for it. I'm pretty sure Red's probably going to add this, but I'm not sure exactly what his publisher wants. 78.9% of people want a global login system. 11.5% are unsure, and only 9.6% say they don't want a global login system. And the reason 9.6% of them probably don't want a global login system is I'm sure about 10% of the people are going to pirate the game. And yeah, I think that made it pretty easy for you right there. I mean, Minecraft did a pretty good job. Now, I could see some of those percents also being influenced by Minecraft. They had a pretty unstable login system at first, so keep your items cross-server. This was an interesting poll. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, 75% of people say yes. But please don't get mixed into that. People voted yes because they like the idea. Some voted no because they don't want it, but they want it. Both of the this poll is pretty messy and it's mixed. What people would like is an option to allow certain servers to allow it or not. If it doesn't allow it, doesn't allow the global, say, inventory system or whatever you have it set. And did I walk all the way back? I think I did. Anyways, so do it something simple where the server has the option to allow it or not allowed. And that's just simple as that. I mean, I would create a server I could call my servers legit, and you start on our server fresh. Why would you, I want somebody who spent like a month, playing single player to come on my server and just start dishing out items. That feels like Diablo all over again, except Diablo had all those cheated items. Oh. So, I think right off the bat we can tell that, everyone likes the idea, but I think, oop, there we go, it's raining again. Let's turn down the sound just a bit more. Nice background sound. Okay, so clearly people like it, but they want options. That seems to be the biggest thing with this thing. Everyone wants options. It's not, it's not about a game that, it's one way or the highway. It's options. Give people options. You'll bring in more people. Do you want to keep your items cross-server that we just talked about? Taming pets. This one was an interesting poll I put up for fun. And it's quite a lot. 70% almost, 69.2% people said they would like to tame pets. 14.4%, which was quite a high number still, are not sure about it, and 16.4% say no. So, I can tell you right off the bat, I think if you do add a pet system, I think most people would want something more passive than, active. So, if you can get a slime that does tiny damage, that's fine. But, if you can go and start taming some crazy-ass creatures, and, maybe you can tame 20 of them, I don't think people would like that as much. It wouldn't be as fun. Oh, look at this. They should put glass on their monorail, so you don't have to walk in the rain. So yeah, the taming pet, I was amazed. Almost 70% of people wanted them. That came out of nowhere. That was a neat question somebody asked, and, yeah. So, are you going to play Terraria online or offline? And this is probably one of the neater polls. 62% of people said they're going to play online with probably a small group of 10 or less people. Now, I'm a large server owner, and that's kind of sad to me. But, of course, a lot of people are also influenced of what they see at the time. Mainly right now, you can't see Terraria having more than 10 people because of, it'd be impossible. Like, it would be chaos. And that's why we came up with the, the instancing system, which would be a really recommended, thing to have with Terraria Online. 10, so online group, 10 or more, said 14.6%. So, there's a big base on that still. And I think you'll find over time that once people get bored of single player, and then they play more multiplayer, and then they get tired of small groups, they'll end up going to larger groups and larger groups till, next, if you had the instancing system, there will be servers with hundreds of worlds. You'll have different themed worlds. It'll be amazing what'll end up happening. It'll end up being Super Mario, for example, where you go one portal and another portal, and it'll be so unique and fun. It's going to be exciting if that happens. 10.3% said they're going to play offline, which is kind of cool. And again, that's that 10% we're saying probably will pirate the game. But we'll see. Hope people don't pirate this game. Red deserves the money for sure. And blue. So yeah, I think that ended up with the polls here. Prefer modding, login, keep your items. Yeah, so that was much the poll. I'm going to throw up into suggestions. I'm going to put this up, and I'm sure Blue's already even talked to Red about this probably, since it was probably most heated discussions going around. It's kind of sad how something like this gets so heated. Death penalty, which we've kind of gone through. Everyone has so many opinions. Add options. That's all I can say. Add options. Small list of ideas. I think that's everyone putting their ideas in. Index, world events, items, biomes, monsters, NPCs. Oh yeah, this one has lots. He's talking about full moon, earthquakes, riots, wars, rain, drought, balloon, cavern, sandstorm, fallen angel, volcano, fog, messenger bird, message in a bottle, dark moon rising, harvest moon, equinox, magma, head raid, extraterrestrial encounter, alien invasion, haunted vanishing manor, more to come. For items, flag, sparkler, anti-poison, venom, sword, liquid pump, half steps, cloak of invisibility, map, divining helmet, iron chest, iron key, glass windows, venom glands, venom arrows, cobwebs, boots, metal doors, rusty claws, One last meal, whip, variety of dyes, seashells, coral, fishing rod, aquarium, dwarfish stout, little crossbow, crossbolt, seed, crystal orb, angel footing, magnet, magic pen, fireworks, magma. Oh, fireworks is a good idea. Magma or magma egg, ingot, magma flail, magma sword. Holy crap, the list goes on and on. I could be reading this stuff forever. Anyways, this guy's suggestion has lot of comments and opinions on it. Uh, Anyways, if you go to the suggestions and just go by replies, you can probably find the top, things that people are talking about. His is called a small list of ideas. You can get it. It's pretty cool. Death penalty, of course, that one was locked. Magic mirror is overpowered. There's a huge discussion on that. I'm not sure if that's something Red should take a look. Terrarian races, ideas, comments, and elaboration. That's a good one to check. Durability is replayability. So a lot of people like the idea of durability. Again, that should be probably an option thing for certain servers. A lot of people seem keen on durability, though some admins may have a hard time of placing durability because they'll be like, well, my friend's server doesn't have durability, it's better. You know what's going to happen there, right? Let's make it daytime again, even though it's pretty much like night with pets. Yes, more pets. People like talking about pets. A big one is cat ears, tails, neko characters. I'm going to say you should add them. I'm not a fan of them at all. I hate the bunny ears and the cat ears or whatever the hell people do. The tails, the whatever. That thing seems weird. And there's a lot of people who hate them and they've been making nothing but flaming them. But in all honesty, it's about selling your game to all cultures and all types of players. So if adding bunny ears and whips or whatever the heck they want in the game works, do it. A social item. It doesn't have to be something that does a lot of damage. Maybe even adding a second appearance slot so you can add something like the bunny ears and stuff like that that goes over top of your armor, or it can replace your armor or something like that. Why not? Isn't that weird how that works? I'm just 2 feet away and it's now... Oh, no, never mind. That's weird. So do it. Just add it. People want it. There's a huge population of people who want it. There's a huge population of people who just want to grief on the idea. It sucks. And like I said, I'm not one who's for it, but apparently there's a lot of people who like it, and that's what you do for a game. You try to sell it to everyone. Event suggestions, weaponry, cuddle creatures. Look at this. An ironic, cute, and cuddle creatures like Moogle, I can't talk today. So, I mean, it goes on and on. There's turrets that are a big thing. Steam seems to be a very big hate and very big love. Every time somebody talks about Steam, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. I use Steam. I have it all the time. I personally would hate the idea of Terraria going on Steam. My opinion, and I won't be like everyone else who says I just hate Steam, I use Steam all the time, is that I believe some games that end up going on Steam get influenced by not working for large populations. Like, I want to run a big server one day with 200 players on. That is my goal. I see every game like this as an indie sandbox, the capability of being an MMO to me. I believe that that goal would never happen if it goes on Steam. Now, that is my personal opinion. Now, if that's true or not, that's a whole nother game. But my personal opinion is that I just feel like Steam may try to influence developers in a way that may try to integrate Steam services and things like that into it. Things like the global login system won't work, or even worse, I'd have to use Steam user as my character name, or, I'm not going to even go through it. But I'm just saying, that's my personal opinion. I shouldn't even be giving my opinion because I am the owner of a fan site. I'm supposed to be kind of non-biased, but that is what my opinion comes when it comes to Steam. Now, if it comes on Steam and you still do the global login system and you're only selling it on there, you're not working with Steam type thing, then I don't see a big problem. But that's me. I'm sorry for giving my opinion. Anyways, yeah, Terraria is doing good. It's getting popular. I guess some of the LPs are starting to get boring from the old ones. I think most of them have stopped or are not going anymore. Uh, I really think the blue and the devs as LPs were the best. I wish blue and red would do a couple more, unless if they are planning to probably release the alpha in the next coming weeks. And it does sound like the possibility is there. The release date could be tomorrow. It could be in a week from now. Now, I'm assuming if the release date's tomorrow, they would probably tell us a week before. I'm pretty sure they're not going to jump and say, oh, release is down, everyone just starts buying it. I'm guessing they're just going to give us some kind of, big, announcement that, the release of alpha or beta is coming up in a week. I'm also hoping, and I'm pretty sure that's their plan, is to do something like Minecraft where they at least have beta, paid beta system where, that it could be beta for another year, and they get a crap load of money, and then they can say, you know what, if it's buggy, that's not our fault, and that kind of fixes the two things. I don't want the game to be released because I feel like when a game gets released, the developers get lazy, and I don't want to ever see that. I think Red's plan is to keep it going forever and ever, but I'm just saying my own personal opinions. I just get worried when, games actually fully release out there, and then the developers start getting lazy, or like, well, we're getting money, we're still getting money, and you know what, I got like $1 million from this game, why do I want to work on it more? Don't do that or I'll have to kill you, Red. Anyways, yeah, Terraria is doing great. I'm excited. My only concern is I like to run large servers, and I hope there's a capability of running large servers. I think most of the user opinions are quite high, and there's a lot of people arguing and fighting on the forums and trolling. That's going to happen. The game's not out. People will calm down eventually once it's out. Oh, sorry, I'm making myself sick now. I believe everyone just wants options. That's the truth. Most people are used to, a developer saying you'll get this choice or that choice. What's the most used server program for Minecraft? Probably Bucket. Probably not even the server jar that Notch even releases. And if it does, it's only for tiny groups. Most people are starting to use buckets and plugins. And ignoring even the plugins, wow, isn't that insane? Even ignoring the whole plugins. Oh crap. Oh, I thought it crashed. Even ignoring the whole idea of just plugins, Bucket is great. They fix, bugs. They have some new options. That's what people want. People want options. When people create a server, they want to have a big config file or whatever, how you decide doing it, and be able to set different options. And this is just so strange. That's just as simple as that. People want options. Yeah, I'm crazy now, aren't I? Talking to myself. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much done discussing about Terraria. I mean, I could talk about it forever. Everyone loves it. Everyone likes varieties. Everyone wants more and more and more items. I think they're doing a great job. I'm excited. I wish I could friggin' alpha test. But I'm not allowed, I guess. And we're all not allowed, I guess. We all have to wait. We all have to suffer. Oh, and people don't leak the game. I know there's some people leaking some crappy version of the game. Red is disappointed on it because you know what? Red is actually working his ass off trying to prevent these. Because, this leak isn't about, oh, it's a crappy leak, why does anyone care? It's about, it's giving it a bad view of the game. The leak is completely like a demo slash alpha of the game. It was like 2-3 weeks ago. Some, upset person released it. I won't say names and whatnot. Let's just say he won't have a good time in life. And he leaked it out. The game at that point didn't even have working features. I don't think you could I didn't even really try it. I just because I'm against it. I'm thinking you gotta wait for the game. Playing something like that is a bad opinion of the game. I saw people complaining about things that should be fixed from it. Like, really, guys? 90% of what you talk about that were changed and fixed since then. I saw one comment, somebody says they really got to fix the saving. There is no saving function as far as I know on it. It's a demo. It wasn't meant for anything but more like maybe play it for like a minute and take a screenshot. And I don't even think they implemented half of the features into it. Or have half of the features. But anyways, you guys are assholes who, You upset me. Let's just put it that way. Calm down, Kane. Deep breaths. So, anyways, I just want to thank everyone for watching this little podcast slash me running around on my server, not even looking at anything good. I really just sucked at walking around and talking. But hey, at least it was better than looking at a blank screen. I think most people who who are gonna play Terraria have probably played Minecraft, at least probably 50% of them. So at least we can relate to something like a sandbox builder game. So, oh, there's that lag again. Oh, every time I think it, I thought the game's gonna crash. But anyways, yeah, I'll end this here. I've probably talked way too long. And I hope you check out Terraria if you haven't yet. And the official website is terraria.org. And this is Kane Hart. And thank you for watching or listening or whatever. Probably listening.